All right, hello and welcome to Odyssey of Eternity. I'm GM Kenneth, and welcome to the Darkness of Sossal, a Ravenloft homebrew. Last we left off, the party managed to undercover and unearth the out of this world plant that had been taking over a good chunk of the city, a good chunk of the town, replacing villagers with these weird plant clones that were a bit off compared to normal villagers, and ended up making their way down into the Temple of Merkul, long since abandoned, finding their way and dispatching the body snatcher. Upon returning back to the city, you have found that unfortunately about half the population had been replaced of the city, and a lot of the town's major infrastructure now lays in ruins and in disrepair due to the long-standing issues with supply and demand here. So, you guys ended up going back to the inn for the night, getting your long rest. And as you guys wake up, you hear a couple things in the town. First off, you hear sobbing. Quite a lot of people around here lost loved ones, lost relatives. And not a lot of people are willingly out and about, and a lot of them are openly grieving. The other thing you hear is that of a handbell being rung, and what sounds to be like a adolescent boy uh, screaming out, "Town meeting! Town meeting tonight! Right before nightfall! Please come to the town hall at the end of the day, and we should find out more information and see if we can find things to do with our city. See if we can help."
Hey, you guys want to crash the town meeting?
I figured we would be there whether or not it was crashing. As Verne thinks to themselves, yes, only the best things happen just before nightfall.
I'd like to crash.
I look at Thrak and I'm like, literally or figuratively speaking?
What does that mean?
Well, the answer is yes.
Yes.
Well, do we have some time before this meeting, or are we just going to go?
Yeah, well, the meeting's not until right before nightfall, as the rest of the day you have open.
We do still need to go to the blacksmith, as some of our weapons are a bit rusty.
Oh, yeah. I need to find some.
I'm in need of more arrows.
Even or odd there, Verne?
Oh, let's go evens.
All right. So you guys make your way to the blacksmith, finding the local smithy. And you see that the forge is cold, as the
Wonderful.
blacksmith was one of the individuals that had been taken.
Well, so much for nails.
Being from here, do I know anybody else that might be capable of
You know, he had an apprentice named Silva.
Okay.
You could try searching them down. Other than that, you know, the next closest place is probably in Davrin, some 40 to 50 miles away.
Have we seen the shepherd?
Walking through, you have seen the shepherd. You did. You did see Dimitri, Baron. His
Hmm.
flock, however, not so much. He has like 3 sheep left.
That's unfortunate. In both ways.
But Aaron Strongoak the Smith has been taken. The town Fletcher, however, was not, so you can get more arrows if you need.
I need some new armor. Is there a leather worker?
The local smith doubled as the town leather worker, as this is a small town.
You did say that there was still the Fletcher, though, correct?
Yes, the Fletcher is there.
Okay. How much are they charging for arrows? Is it typical price or is it higher?
Double the typical price right now because supplies are very limited.
Fair enough.
For something for armor, you might be able to look around the town, see if anyone might have some stuff that they might be willing to sell for you guys. Might be willing to part ways with. And sort of piecemeal some armor back together. That is up to you guys.
I think we also need to find a way to neutralize acid, if at all possible, as that seems to have come up quite a bit.
Yes. Also, real quick, at the beginning of the morning, I need everyone to do their charisma check for taking a rest here.
That's an excellent first roll of the night. I got a natural 20 for a total of 20.
All right, Agni,
A charisma saving throw or just a
saving
charisma
throw.
roll? 22.
All right, Telvin,
15.
Thrak,
13.
Verne,
20.
and Vita.
18.
Okay. You guys don't really feel anything. None of you have strange dreams. None of you experience anything out of the ordinary. With the exception of Verne, who's been a bit peculiar ever since the fight.
My god, that's amazing. I'm sorry, I'm on D&D Beyond, and they added a backpack inventory. Sorry. My bad. It's just very
You're good.
cool all of a sudden.
But Verne has been a bit off
Noticed
since
that too.
his encounter with the plant speaker.
Are you-
I'm buying 3 bundles of arrows for 6 gold.
Okay. What was that, Vita?
Are you doing all right, Verne? I mean, you were in there for a while.
No, but that's a discussion for a later time.
A private discussion? Like a group
One
discussion?
one that I would not like to have in the middle of the street.
Alrighty then. You don't have to shout.
Oh, as Verne quiets down a little. Oh, that's right. All right, that will be discussed when it all is explained.
Okay then. And Vita will leave Verne wherever he is.
All right. So,
Over to Vernay and starts sniffing him. Smells the same to me.
um, so as you guys are sort of doing all of this stuff, going around, talking, after a minute, um, you hear the clip clopping of horses as you see a very ornate wagon brought up into the town square. Um, you don't recognize the what do you call it? The family crest on it, which seems to be a shield of dark blue with golden stars speckled with silver dust across the shield. Uh, the creatures pulling this carriage seem to be skeletal war horses, sort of clip-clopping away in their ever undying loyalty.
You see Vernay gets a very agitated look at seeing these skeletal war horses.
Does the same. He starts reaching for the handle of his maul.
After a minute, after it's parked for a second, the person who's driving the carriage gets down and pulls out a very large umbrella with a large overarching and deep coated umbrella. Holds it up over the door as the door opens, as you see a person covered almost head to toe in some sort of clothing or cloth quickly ducks underneath the umbrella and is ushered into the local inn.
Just for shits and giggles, I am going to use Primeval Awareness.
Okay, what does that do?
I can sense whether any apparitions, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead are within 1 mile.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know their location, but it's just just making sure that I am correct in my assumptions.
There is a lot of undead in the area.
Wonderful.
And fae, and fiends, and a couple celestials, and a little bit of everything on that list.
Let's go on.
Wow, that's very telling, actually.
What's that?
Does my divine sense go off because it's only 60 or whatever? Is it close enough to me that's within 60 feet?
So, you are about within 6 feet. Are you using your divine sense?
Yes.
Okay. The horses definitely ping, and you can't tell. Something does ping undead in the umbrella, but the people are too close together for you to be able to tell for sure who.
And I'm under the assumption that this clothing this person is wearing is not like some sort of formal, like, I don't know, attire of some sort. Like, it's not some sort of, I don't know, ceremonial type thing or whatever.
It does not seem to be ceremonial. It seems to be more noble in bearing.
Okay.
But they very quickly are ushered into the inn.
The inn we're staying at, right?
Yes.
Interesting.
And after a little bit of time, you see the butler come out, move the carriage, and then return back into the inn.
I'm gonna look at the group and ask them if you guys want me to track down the blacksmith's apprentice and see if he's willing to help the town by going to work back in the forge. Because they're gonna need somebody.
Yeah, that's probably for the best if we try to track them down.
Okay.
Okay, give me a, this will be a perception check. Or a charisma check.
I'll go with charisma if you want to.
I'll do perception.
Okay.
I was gonna say, if you're doing perception, I'll just assist, but if you're doing charisma, I'll do the perception.
Okay.
24.
Okay.
17 on a charisma check.
Yeah, after a hot minute, you do find, conveniently, the apprentice as well. They are in the same inn that you were staying at, fairly deep into the ale. You see there's about 5 tankards that have already been emptied, sitting on the table in front of him.
They're grieving.
As you, what did I say her name? I forgot to write it down. The apprentice.
Steva or something like that. Stella.
It was a female name, I know.
Silva?
Silva.
Maybe.
That's it. Silva. So as you approach her, Telwyn and Vernay and anyone else who's following along with them, she sort of, what do you want? Nothing's worth living anyways. It sucks. Who's gonna teach me how to work now? There goes my apprenticeship.
Well, as long as I've been on this world, I've found failure is the best teacher. You should never be afraid of it. You must learn from your mistakes, so if you try, that's what counts. You will get better if you continue to try.
How drunk is she?
She seems to be quite drunk at that point. She's about 5 tankards in. She looks up at Vernay. Are you calling me a failure?
No. I'm just letting you know that you don't necessarily need someone to teach you.
I'd like to use persuasion.
I will also pull out my bow and set it to the side and say, took me a long time to not snap this on my wrist. No one taught me. I just did until I could.
Is there a barrel of water, like on the outside of the inn or on the inside?
You can find some water, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go over to Silva, pick her up, take her over to the barrel of water, and dunk her head in it a couple of times.
This will be an opposed athletics check, as she is not going to willingly go along with this.
Wow. 13.
That beats her 7.
As Verne doesn't notice this happening until it's already happened and be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
We need you to help us. You're no good to us, drunk. And then I let her go.
I'm going to plead with her and use persuasion to say, hey, the town is struggling. The town could use you. You're the one that learned from this person. And right now they probably need you as a, one of the few signs of hope, but somebody willing to step forth and help them with all that's gone on. They're going to need your skills. They're going to need you. I apologize if my friend had a different approach in the situation.
Just trying to
Have that
sober her up.
persuasion, and add points about carrying on his legacy and not letting all of those talents go to waste.
Okay. Give me a persuasion check, you guys.
Well, I was assisting Telwyn, so you'd have advantage, right?
With an advantage roll, I got a 19.
Okay. So you look at her, and all of you guys sort of pour on the charm with her and stuff like that, and she just sort of wipes a sniffling nose. She's like, you know what? I'll give it a try. I just need to sober up a bit, and then I'll head to the forges, I think. Also, she looks at you, Thrak. You toss me in the water again, and we're gonna have words.
That's okay. I don't know many words.
As you see, she's trying to be upset, but she's still a little too drunk to let little things like that not derail her from her emotions. And she just sort of starts giggling. She's like, give me a few hours and I'll sober up and I'll head to the forge.
I give her a pat on the back, which is probably a little too strong.
She just sort of
Yeah.
eyes sort of bulge and out. She looks back at you.
He doesn't really understand his own strength sometimes. I apologize for that.
So, that's okay. It happens. It happens sometimes. So you guys end up finishing up with this, finishing up with this, and after a while she heads back. And as you're finished talking to this woman, the innkeeper comes up to you, sort of a bit hesitant. She's sort of wringing her hands a little bit. It's like, hello, I know you had your rooms here. Unfortunately, we had a person come through and offer a substantial amount of money that I could not turn down for a room here. And unfortunately, one of your rooms had to be... I had to, unfortunately, offer one of your rooms to...
I look
our benefactor.
I look to the party, I look at her, and I say, that shouldn't be a trouble. We still have the 2, correct?
Yes.
That should work perfectly fine.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to be a lot more angry. A lot of people don't. Usually that doesn't happen often, and when it does, people usually tend to get really upset with me. So thank you for being awesome.
Well, I know that in smaller towns like this, you do what you must.
Yes.
It gives her like a pat on the shoulder that's like full well like, I understand. You do not need to worry about this.
I appreciate it. It's been quite busy, and the individual tends to stay to themselves. I never even got the name of them. Their butler did all the talking. Seemed to be quite the pale fellow. But I'm not here to gossip, especially when people are paying so well to be here. So I have business to attend to. Talk to you later. As she bustles off elsewhere into the inn. A couple hours later, you see Silva get up and stagger out of the building in the direction of the forge.
I'll start heading over that way.
Okay. You head your way over to the forge, and you actually beat Silva there. And after a minute, she comes into the forge area, putting a heavy leather apron on, and she looks at you. I literally just left the inn. I had to stop at my house to get a change of clothes. You are persistent.
I need armor.
She looks you up and down. I can see that, and she sort of cocks her. She's like, half your butt cheeks exposed. Did you get dunked in a bath of acid?
Yeah.
I see. Well, what type of armor are you looking for? I can't make anything that advanced right now, but I can do a little bit here.
Hide armor.
I should be able to do something like that. I should be able to mock something up by tomorrow.
How much?
Say about 15 gold pieces.
Okay. I'll put the 15 gold down on the counter or wherever she's at. And I show her my great axe, how it's been pitted and dulled by the acid. What can you do for this?
Well, I can take it to the grindstone, and I can work the edge back into it, and hopefully that should help. Might bring it back to what it was.
How much will that cost?
That I can take care of that for a few coppers.
Okay. I'll give her an extra gold.
She bobs her head. Thank you, thank you. Now, if there's anything else you need, I very much like to stuff my ears full of cotton before I start hammering stuff on the anvil.
I have some friends that need some other things done with their weapons. Can
Okay,
I send them over?
sure, go for it. I'll be here.
All right. So I'll leave the smithy and go across to the inn. Let everyone know what's going on, what she's doing.
Okay. So everyone, Thrak ends up coming back here a little bit, coming to find you, telling you, oh, the smith's open again.
Alrighty. Well, Vita will make her way over.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. As you see her sort of like, picking out her ear a little bit, pulling out some of the cotton out of her ear.
Not to be an inconvenience, but I'm looking for two things. I'm not sure if you'll be able to assist me with the second, but the first is nails.
We have those in abundance. How many do you need?
Let's say 30.
I can do that. 10 silver? And
That's
it's
fine.
yours? Which would be 1 gold piece.
Alrighty.
I always forget
And
that
this
10 silver is 1 gold.
same. And the second one would be, do you have any weaver's tools? Specifically a needle.
Well, I don't know if I have the tools for a weaver, but I could probably scrounge you up a needle. I have some leather-working needles that I use for the hides. They're a bit thicker than for sewing, but they function.
How much will it cost me?
With the work your friend has put up and the money he's put up, I just give you a needle if you need.
Then I'll take it at that price. But I will be looking for others. Is there anyone in the town who does embroidery?
Well, there was, but she was the first one taken by the plants.
That's unusual. Oh well. Perhaps I'll see if her family is interested in parting with it. And she walks away.
Okay.
After giving her the amount.
Okay. Give me an insight check here, Vita.
Sure. I knew it was going to be low. 3.
You completely do not recall that the person that she was talking about was the family that you was the first podlings that you encountered, the lady and her family that you burst in and slew them all in their home.
Oh, that's going to be interesting later. All right.
You know that as a player, but your character does not remember.
Okay.
What about the rest of you guys?
I will be in one of our rooms at the inn, thinking.
Okay.
Trying to make sense of everything that is now going on with me.
Okay. Agni, what are you doing?
I kind of want to snoop around and see if I can get more information about this mysterious guest.
Okay. How are you planning on doing that?
Well, I'm not very stealthy, so I'm thinking I'll just schmooze all the people.
Okay.
Try to, you know, just
So
talk to people and see what they know about the guy.
I'm gonna
Or if anybody has seen him.
I'm gonna say give me a. This will be a persuasion or performance at disadvantage because it's essentially pandering at a funeral. Because everyone here is pretty morose at this point.
Oof. Okay. 18.
Still not bad.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people didn't really see him that long as he's been keeping to his room for the most part. You hear a rumor that the butler brought out a trunk that was probably about 6 feet long and about as wide as a man's shoulders. Carried it up into the room. The man seemed to be incredibly bloodlessly pale and incredibly gaunt from what the few glimpses that people got of him. And he was very particular on asking for permission from the owner.
Uh-huh. So with my background in medicine, is it safe to assume that he's a fucking vampire?
And it's not really a medicine check for vampirism,
He's dead?
but you can give me an Arcana check
Oh. I'll try.
or a religion check.
Okay, that would probably be better. Oh, actually, it probably wouldn't matter. Oh, well, nat 20 on religion, so that's good.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, all the little clues and stuff like that definitely sort of put you to the vampire conclusion.
Okay, well, I guess I will secretly just like whisper and warn everybody to watch out for this guy because he's a vampire. But his room is going to be right by ours since he got one of our rooms, right? So maybe we'll get some more info.
Yeah.
You let Verne know about your vampire conclusion?
Yes.
Okay. And having my favorite enemy be undead, can I think about any information about vampires that I may know?
Yeah, give me a Arcana or religion check.
Yay, I have advantage because they're my favorite enemy. 20.
20. All right. So, yeah, you know that vampires, very much like you said, they tend to ask permission first to do things, or to enter buildings. They shun the sunlight. They're quite allergic to it. Wooden stake in the heart. 9 times out of 10, they're usually not a force for good.
But that isn't to say that in history there haven't been vampires who weren't necessarily evil.
Yes, but usually
Not
tend
that
to
that
be.
would
Yeah.
Not that that would change Verne's opinion on them whatsoever,
Yes.
considering
As far as your
Verne's
character would
opinion on
go,
undead.
as far as your character's opinion would go, yeah, he knows that they're usually up to something, and even if they're not, they still, in order to survive, have to survive on the suffering of others.
Well, that and they're just an affront to my religion.
I mean,
They're basically a giant walking middle finger to my goddess. So.
But,
All right.
and then Telwyn, what are you doing during this time?
I'm actually going to go to the temple. I'm going to let the group know where I'm going. I'm going to go to the temple and help, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that are in need of prayers and grieving and any kind of, possible, I guess,
Okay.
involvement and dealing with the grief and whatever's going on. So that's probably where I'll be needed most at the moment. So.
Okay, and as you go there, High Priestess Janice is absent. You realize she was probably one of the ones that were taken.
Okay.
So you go there and you help the struggling clergy maintain and assist the townsfolk. Anyone else before nightfall hits?
Thrak wants to track down the stables.
Okay.
And just kind of skulk around there, see if the carriage with the horses is around the stables or not.
The carriages, the horses are suspiciously absent.
Is there anybody guarding the stables?
No, there isn't.
Okay. I want to get as close as I can to the carriage and just kind of check it out. See if I notice anything besides the horses that are gone.
Okay.
I can do a perception check or whatever you want.
This will be a investigation because you're getting up close and personal with it.
All right. That would be a 10.
Okay. Cursory glance. The windows are all blacked out, either being a heavy, thick curtain or simply a thick metal-esque or wood material painted to look like a window. Doesn't appear to be locked. Very well crafted.
Did you say it appears to be locked or doesn't appear to be locked? I'm sorry.
It does not appear to be locked.
Okay. I will. I'll open it up. Okay. See what's inside.
So you click the handle open. All of a sudden, you see a little glowing red pea in front of you as a glyph that was warding the door detonates. Need a dexterity saving throw from you?
Shit. So let's see here. There is something about a dex.
You have advantage on all dex saves if you can see it happening. So you would have advantage on this.
Okay. And advantage means I roll twice, take the higher of the two, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I roll a 19 and a 14.
19 and a 14.
19.
All right. So you'll take the 19. So you'll take half of 30 fire damage as a fireball goes off. Right in your face from opening up the door. You don't get blasted back, but the stables are on fire at this point. All the hay and everything.
Are there any horses in the stables?
No.
Okay, so there's no animals, just the carriage.
Yep, just the carriage. The door's open, though.
Oh, for the carriage?
Yes.
I will make a quick check before I run out.
Okay. So, give me a very quick investigation again here.
And again.
10 again. All right. You see what looks to be some sort of loamy soil on the floor. Not a lot, too much, but like a thin layer of it. Cushions, deep royal blue velvet. Very dark. Other than that, you don't see much. And now I need a Constitution saving throw as the building is on fire and you're trying to get out of it as you hear bells ringing as the bucket brigade is starting.
23.
You said what?
23.
23. All right. You will take half of 8 points of fire damage, and you are not caught on fire as you get out of the building.
Yeah, I'm out of there.
As you sort of pat yourself out as you walk out, as you see people with buckets coming in. You looking back, the carriage is surprisingly not damaged by the fire at all.
Interesting. Okay, so there's a bucket brigade?
There is a bucket brigade starting, yes.
Okay, I'll get in line and help.
Okay. The rest of you guys who are in the town, or especially in the inn, you guys hear the explosion go off, and you hear the bells ringing. Fire! Fire by the inn and the stables!
I will join in the bucket brigade.
Yeah, me too.
Same.
All right, and as you do, the butler comes out as you see, with everyone calling out for the bucket brigade and stuff like that, and he seems quite perturbed that the wagon had been tampered with, and you see that he definitely knows. But you guys don't really know that the wagon is what caused this. But you just see him scowling very maliciously towards the direction of the stables.
Are the horses okay?
There's no horses in the stables.
I'm not saying that. Moros fully knows there are no horses.
Vita, on the other hand, is screaming out, "Are the horses fine?"
Yes, exactly.
Someone yells out, "There were no horses, thank gods!"
Much relief, and we'll continue.
At one point, Verne, seeing Thrak all charred and burnt, is going to stop and be like, "Why are you... did you go in there to check for animals or something?" Thrak, seeing as Thrak is all burnt.
There a little bit. Could you repeat yourself?
Verne asks you why you're all burnt. Did you, go in and check for animals after it started burning?
Yes, that's exactly what I did.
Fair enough. Next time, just ask someone who is around here. They could have told you. We'll continue to put out fires.
Yep. Keep passing the water bucket.
All right.
Once we get done, I'll tell them about the carriage not burning. It's just sitting there as I was looking in.
As you were looking for animals, I would assume.
Right.
That's what Verne is assuming, because that is...
Right.
I have no reason to not trust you otherwise. Verne will nod their head, thinking, and at the same time will cast Cure Wounds to heal up some of your burns.
Thank you.
Take 9 points of health back.
Thank you.
So, the rest of the day goes pretty uneventful as things quietly go forth, and towards nightfall, most of the people start gathering at the town hall. And as you guys also congregate there with everyone else, the mood here is quite tense. The feeling of worry is almost... you could almost reach out and touch it with how real the fear of, will we have enough supplies to make it the next couple weeks? Will we have enough skilled individuals to make it the next couple weeks? Just the fear and the worry of what's next. It's just looming in the air. And as the meeting gets called to being, the person who opens the meeting is the what do you call it? The tavern owner, Galena Varga. And she's like, all right, everyone. Well, as much as you know, most of our leadership and townsfolk have been sort of decimated. The sheriff is gone. The smith is gone. The high priestess is gone. And a woman sort of chimes up, and you guys would recognize her as Svetlana Fiala, the owner of the flower shop in town. She's like, yes, how would we feed our families? How will we make it through the cold? Galena sort of pats the air in assurance. Well, we have one hope. We have an emissary that came from the nearby town of Davrin. When I mean nearby, I mean not quite near at all, but the closest thing that we have. As you see the veiled individual back in the corners just sort of nod his head towards the speaker. He is very generously offered to have people come over to his town, and he's offered some supplies, but and relief, but we need to send a group of individuals or a caravan to go get them ourselves. And well, the caravans are there, already ready to go, he says, but well, we need some volunteers to go get the gear, get the supplies. Fear we won't have enough supplies to make it the month if we don't. And she looks around the building, the hallway, or the town hall is packed.
After a few seconds, Verne will stand up as a volunteer.
Cool, I didn't even have to pull teeth to ask for one. Anyone else going with our brave friend
I
here?
will as well. Knowing what this guy is, I do not want any of the townsfolk to go because I feel like it could be a trap.
All right.
Hands up. I'll go.
Vita will bite her lip, but will stand.
All right, so after a minute, you guys all stand up. Uh, and she nods. Anyone else? And no one. No one volunteers. So she's like, all right. You guys are familiar with the area, correct? You have a map. Yes?
Verne looks to Telwyn.
And Telwyn would have one. It's the map
Yeah.
that is in the Ravenloft text. Davrin's a bit north and to the east, and just off of the Sea of Endless Mists. It's the most northern village that you can go to. It's about 45 miles away, and depending on your travel, it's about 5 to 7 days worth of travel, depending on how thick the woods are, as we don't have a solid road that is well maintained between the two settlements. Not gonna lie, you're gonna be going through some quite dangerous locations to get there. The woods, especially between Yevik and Davrin, are known to be infested with some oddities. Undead, shadow creatures, and rumors have had it even the demons have started coming back in that area. We're not gonna lie, it's gonna be a dangerous prospect. But we are willing to pay you guys 500 gold for doing this.
These guys are
Verne.
gonna notice. Verne, when he goes to speak to me, he's gonna notice the reason I didn't stand up is that I'm on a knee praying, and then I'll get up like as he addresses me like formally or whatever in the conversation, and I'll look to him and I said nod, and I said, yeah, I have a map that's rough of the area or whatnot, and I kind of know where it's at. I haven't been there.
A rough map will suffice. I'll make sure we do not get lost in the forest.
And I'll be like, thank you, my friend.
So, our benefactor, his name is Aegorn. As she nods to the gentleman sort of sitting in the back, his butler just sort of standing off to the side, arms very casually sort of crossed and resting where if he was wearing steel, it would be where some daggers would be, but you don't see any sort of weaponry. But very much a relaxed warrior's pose from the butler. The man inclines his head again, and you hear a silky, deep voice. Well, well, well. We have some very wonderful and brave volunteers. Yes, you don't see his face through the veil that he wears. It's a large brimmed hat with a veil. And, but you can see the smile upon his lips through hearing it through his voice. The path will be very dangerous, and I do hope you make it. When you arrive back at Davrin, present them with my sigil. Tell them Lord Aegorn sent you. And through that, your caravan will be supplied, and all you have to do is escort it back here to Yevik. That said and done, my butler, he will give you the emblem, present this seal to the gates, and all will be well. Do be safe.
Can I insight this?
Absolutely, yeah.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah.
I trust this person as far as I can throw them, which is not very.
22.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got an 18.
You get the feeling that he is being honest with his offer of aid. It's hard to tell just simply on the body language, which is very languid, very self-assured, without seeing any of his facial features or anything to determine if this is a truth or a lie, but your gut's telling you that his offer is at least sincere.
Verne will nod and go to grab the sigil from the butler.
The butler just looks at you and give me. Actually, wait a minute. You get the as you grab the sigil from the butler, you get the faintest sniff of decay and rot.
That's just great. Okay. Putting that aside for now. Pocket the sigil and walk back to the group.
How many days is it to this town?
He said anywhere between 5 and 7, depending on your ability to get through the forest.
Okay.
I also will look to the owner of the inn and give a look of if I may say something to the town real fast.
She nods.
I will walk over and I will say, I will make sure we make it through the forest to bring you these supplies to get you through these hard times. Once we are back, I am offering my services further to help teach people to hunt if they so wish. Because I have always been told that give a man a rabbit and he will eat for a day, teach a man to hunt and he will eat for a lifetime.
The shepherd Dimitri will laugh and call out, I've also heard that if you teach a man you give a man a fire, he'll stay warm for the night. But if you light a man on fire, he'll be warm for life. We will take your help. We will take your help, and it is much appreciated.
And gives a deep nod.
Thank you. Thank you. So you guys all get your stuff ready as you wake up. You go to bed for the night. Head back to the inn. Sort of. The guys all sort of.
Before we go to bed, I gather everyone in the same room because I figure people want to talk about what happened to Verne. As I did promise that
Okay.
it would be told, just not in the middle of the street. So, pull everyone into the same room, and Verne will begin to explain what they saw. The, being pulled into the monster, and being in darkness, and then hearing a voice offering me a second chance. And that entire conversation. and then explain that once I woke up, I now hear whispering all around me, which is why I may talk a little louder every now and then.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Do you think it's safe to be talking about this, though, when there's a vampire or something around?
I don't think they are connected.
I don't think they're connected either. It's just I don't know the hearing range of a vampire or whatever that is.
Well, I doubt they will get any information that is useful from this conversation.
True. Is that the normal fashion of nobility around here?
I do not know. I look to
Telwyn?
Telwyn.
Talon, you really haven't seen much nobility around here to know.
Good to know. Do we want to separate for the night?
I'm fine if we do. I'm fine if we don't. If you feel it would be safer to all share one room for the night, I'm more than willing to go for it. I cannot guarantee with a possible vampire here.
Okay.
Should someone stay up for a little bit then? Like a watch?
I wouldn't mind staying with everyone else in the same room, and a watch sounds like a very good idea.
Yeah, I agree.
So you guys splitting up boys and girls again, or are you staying in the same room?
I feel like we'll all stay in the same room for the night.
It's fine with me.
I'm good.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll take first watch.
Okay. So
I'll take a watch as well or help because I only need 4 hours.
That's extremely helpful, actually.
I'll take a watch.
okay, so everyone who's taking a watch, please give me a perception check.
Uh, 12.
Okay.
Yeah, 11.
22.
Okay. So, you guys wake up in the morning to nothing eventful happening around your room. You see, as you come down for breakfast, you see Galena sort of cooking a decent breakfast. Not anything like what she used to, due to sudden lack of resources and the food scarcity and stuff like that. And she's consistently like rubbing her neck this morning as you come down.
Oh no. Check for bite marks.
So you're just going up and moving your hand out of the way to look?
Yep.
What are you doing? What are you? And she's like resistant to like as you're trying to like pull her hand away. You just come up to her and don't say anything, but try to move her hand away from her neck that she's rubbing. What are you doing? Why are you
Oh,
being so?
sorry. I'm a healer, and I thought I saw like a rash. I just wanted to check it. I'm so sorry. It's sleepy. I'm sleepy. I haven't had coffee yet.
As she pulls her hand back, you see there are two like nicks on her neck, about 3 inches apart.
Uh, okay. Yeah, is that itchy? Have you been scratching?
It's a bit sore. I think I scratched myself while I was sleeping. I had some awful dreams last night.
Oh, I bet. Oh gosh. Oh god, I'm not okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna go back to the group and let them know. But like, I'm not really sure what to do about this right now.
Verne gets very concerned as you mention that.
Can we leave this going on in the town to go get their supplies?
We're going
Worry.
to have to.
I worry that that's the reason they were looking. He's looking for volunteers. I worry that like we take the chance to help the people and something like at what cost? What cost is it going to be? Especially after you guys point out some of this odds and ends stuff. What cost if we walk away from this to go travel for a week to get supplies and a week back or whatever it takes?
I don't think we can move faster in our travels either.
Is there a trail through the forest?
Not a good one.
So it would be pointless to see about getting a cart or something like that.
You're gonna have to bring the cart back, but on the way there, it might be not. It might be faster just for you guys to go on foot on the way there.
Okay.
I don't know. Like you guys have pointed this stuff out to me, and I'll look at you guys and I'm like, I don't know, like if this endeavor to bring back supplies is going to be worth leaving to whatever could start here by what you guys have been, I guess, sharing or finding out, especially about the new arrived guest, like how bad this could get because these people have already been preyed on enough recently.
Well, do we have the power to kill the vampire now?
Verne will give you all a look of probably not.
There's also that butler.
Would
The real question. Go ahead.
no, go ahead, Vita.
The real question is whether or not we'll be coming back to a entirely dead town, possibly, and running to go get supplies for them.
I don't think we have much of a choice at this point.
Verne, did you openly discuss, like, at all amidst, like, social interactions that you hunt dead things? Yes, no? In light context, even?
I don't think I would have been trying to hide it.
Okay.
Like, I feel like you guys could have pieced together that at this point, like, I'm not the biggest fan of undead.
I could go to the temple and see if there's anything there to help protect the people and let the temple know what we think is going on and that the people need to be protected. If you guys think that would help.
I think it would help, but say it subtly. Do not point fingers. Just let them know that there's a possibility that the people may need protected.
Okay.
Perhaps tell them that it's an attempt to bless the area for good fortunes to come their way.
Okay.
Indeed, considering the problems that have happened so far, they can think of it like that.
Okay. All right, then before we leave, that's what I will go do. I'll go talk to the temple.
Okay. So you guys are starting to gather your stuff and stuff like that. Tell when you head back to the temple. What do you do at the temple?
I will meet with the acolytes and the clergy that's left,
Okay.
and whoever's in charge. And
no one has been put up yet as in charge.
Okay, I will just I guess try to get them together as a group and
Okay.
say, hey, bless the people here, bring light and hope to the people here and protect them as we go to travel to bring back supplies, and just be cautious so we don't go through another situation like we've went through recently where the people are being preyed upon, or disappearing, and bless us in our journey. And I will say thank you as I interact. Do you want me to do a persuasion check of some sort?
Give me a performance or or persuasion, yeah.
It's your call. I can.
Honestly, I'm gonna say a performance for this because you're not outright saying what you want, but you're still being truthful, or what you perceive as truthful.
15.
Okay. An acolyte approaches you and says, "Brother Telwyn, what are you not telling us?"
I just fear for the people's safety. Just the unease and the divine sense that there's something amiss and we're getting sent away, and I feel like being the light and hope for these people is the best thing you can do at this point. Because of the character, I'm not 100% certain. I mean, I know the little bit, but I don't know who or what, and my sense went off and I picked up some stuff.
Yeah.
And people probably saw the skeletal horses, so it's like a, superstitious possible thing or whatever, so it's just kind of, I'm just giving them what I feel more than, because I really don't 100% know.
Mm-hmm. No, that's very fair. So they nod and we will do our best, Brother Telwyn. We will try to do you proud while you're gone.
And I will say a prayer as I walk out.
Okay. So, you guys make your way back to where everyone is at as you guys start heading off to the northeast, heading out of the city and into the dense alpine jungles, or no, alpine forests of the area. You guys start to push your way through and end up finding your way in the deep alpine forests. This is where we are going to take a intermission for the night, as this is a perfect time to do so. Be back in about 10 minutes, guys.
Hey, Josh.
I actually hit the unmute button. Perfect. Hello and welcome back, everyone. We're back from an intermission as the party takes off into the alpine forest that is the dense underbrush of Sossal. They manage to make their way through and following the rough trail towards the northeast. At times the trail even dips out where you can't see it anymore, but following this direction it eventually reopens as you guys are thinking. You get the thought that on the way back it's going to be very difficult with a cart full of supplies to get through this, but not impossible. Someone give me a roll me a die 12 for me, please.
I'll do it. Oh, fuck, got it. Never mind.
It's not good.
What'd you get?
I got one.
1. Okay. So, after... Roll me another die... Roll me a die 8.
Eight.
Okay. So for the most part, the day goes by quite easily. Quite quietly. However, towards the end of the day, things start to get darker, get more ominous. The forest is not the best place to be at night. And after a little bit, you guys finally decide to settle down for the night. Set up your campfire. Set up your camp. And as you guys get your campfire going, you see a 2 orbs of glowing purple and green sort of coming through the woods in your direction. And after a while, you see a very gaunt-looking individual sort of coming out of the woods. They large smile with only their lips and not their teeth. Hello. It's not often I find people wandering these parts of the woods this time of night. My name is Chi-Chi. What is your name?
I want to give them a quick, once over with my eyes to get a feel on this person. Kind of like an insight into why is this person out late at night.
Well, I'm gonna pretend to be unbothered by this, and I'll introduce myself.
Alright, so as you introduce yourself, he sort of looks at Verne. You know my eyes are up here. You do not have to ogle me like you're taking my clothes off there. As you're just giving him the stink eye there, Verne. But to meet you, good to meet you, Lady Agni. It is very pleasant to meet you. It is not often I find friends wandering the woods. Not that often at all.
Yeah, first time for everything. So, what are you doing out here?
I mean, I like to take very enthusiastic walks, usually at dusk.
Very enthusiastic. I like that. Yes. And I'll cheer for him.
It is a good night for a walk, no?
I'm dangerous places you're deciding to take a walk in.
I mean, we live in interesting times. So why should I not walk in interesting places? So, what are we having for dinner tonight? I have a couple hares I could throw into the pot. As he opens up his cloak, and you see there's a couple rabbits sort of hanging from some thongs in there. He's like, "Hey, I can add those in. I can add these to the pot if you'd like to make a stew or something."
Are those glowing things still like hanging around him?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, don't mind these. As he pokes one of the blobs. They are harmless. They use them to scare away any of the large predators. Most things do not like bright lights going through the woods at night. Sort of scares them a little bit. So, who's cooking? Let me hand you these rabbits. Let them get rid of them for me. Cook them up. As he just sort of pulls up a stump or a log and sort of pops a squat. So, what can old Chichi do for you? What are you up to? I do not seem adventurous here very often.
We're making our way through the woods.
To grandmother's house do we go? You need to go over a river first for that one, so I've heard.
Mainly to the east we go.
Ah. So I assume you're probably going to Davrin. It's the only place to the east. Unless you are trying to go a little south to the ruins of Nupau.
Why would we want to go there?
Sometimes pilgrims go there to see where the cataclysm happened. To see the fall of this land. To get confirmation that Lord Darkheart is our savior for doing what he did there. To save us from the demons. And that he did the right. But he did not fully succeed in fighting off the deceivers who led him so far astray.
We'll keep that in mind.
But I don't think he looks you guys once over. Yes, the beasties there are too powerful for you. So Davrin must be where you are heading. Chichi knows lots. Chichi seems lots of things. Who took the rabbits from him?
Who would be cooking?
I guess I could have.
I'll give her guidance when she goes to cook because I'm like thinking, me in the kitchen? No.
So Agni, as he hands you these rabbits, you notice there is not a drop of blood in these rabbits.
Interesting. Yeah, so, you did a really good job of draining these, huh?
It helps preserve them, keeps them from going bad sooner. And get every drop, get the blood out, and they'll last longer.
Can I do an insight check to see if he actually just drank them?
This would be more of a medicine.
Okay.
As a person who does spend their time in the forest and does have to hunt for themselves, would Verne know if that's true? That draining, like, I as a person do not know if that's actually true or not. I assume it is.
As someone who survivalist and stuff like that, yes, it does.
It does preserve them.
It's not something that will do it for long, but it is something that's better. It's better to get the blood out. It just helps preserve the meat a little bit longer,
Right.
depending on circumstances. In the tundra, probably yes. So it wouldn't freeze as much.
I got a 24 on medicine.
Yeah, looking at these rabbits, it looks like their throat has been slashed. It does not seem like you don't see any like the teeth marks or anything that you would think you would see for what you're trying to look for. So, how are we cooking these rabbits?
I guess we'll throw them in the stew.
Ah. Good.
The best way to people.
Did you just say it's the best way to eat people?
To feed a lot of people.
Okay, just double checking, because, cannibalism is not that cool.
Frowned upon in most societies.
It is frowned upon in most societies. And Chi-Chi is not about that life.
Yeah, no, when I said that I ate somebody, that was a metaphor for something very dirty.
I see. And you are a woman of the cloth. Oof.
Oh, yeah, I am. But you know what? Love shows up in a lot of different places.
Hey, Chi-Chi is not one to judge. So, you guys cook the rabbits and end up having a good meal. And Chi-Chi eats a little bit, but he doesn't eat much. He's very boastful and spends a lot of time laughing, and you hardly see a smile leave his face. But usually never with his teeth. It's almost always exclusively with his lips only.
Yeah, I'm still a little suspicious of him. He seems like a nice guy, though. So, have you ever eaten anybody? Speaking of eating people.
I have not. Sometimes you get mad enough you think about it, but you turn down these urges. As you say, it's metaphor, no? Allusion for something dirty.
For me, it was a metaphor. But, I'm just going to come out and say it. You know what? We met a vampire recently, so I'm just like, I just want to make sure, Do you like to suck people dry and drink their blood?
So, when you mention the word vampire, everyone but Vita notices he stiffens for a second. Before, and hesitates for a second, and then just goes back to his jovial, "You met a vampire? How did you know it was a vampire?"
I have a history of looking into undead things as my chosen goddess doesn't very much appreciate the undead.
Ah, so you're one of those guys that bring out the dead and then ring the bell, right?
I'm more of a let's keep the dead where they rest.
Ah,
Let them be at peace.
I see.
Let's not torment the dead and their sleeping bodies.
I see.
Question, though. If somebody became a vampire and it was not of their own free will, And they chose to live a life that was not hunting and murdering people. I mean, could there be nice vampires?
You
He said,
see a look of like deepened thought on Vernay's face of that's never really something they've considered before.
Chi-Chi sort of cocks his head. Mm, I mean, it is possible, but from what I hear, the hunger takes over before too long, and even those with the shiniest of gold hearts will eventually succumb to their hunger, one way or another. Only through self-isolation and other things can they probably hope to live a, let's say, semi-normal life. But it is not always easy, I do not think, for them.
Yes, I don't imagine that it would be easy at all.
No, it does not. So, Chi-Chi is getting very tired for the night. I don't know about you, but I think it is about time to hit the hay. Do you mind if I sleep here with you tonight, or I feel much too weary to make it back to my campsite?
Vernay kind of just shrugs their shoulders as they're still deep in thought.
If anything, my orbs will keep the beasties away for the night.
How do you make those?
Yeah, we should get some of those.
Ah, see, that is interesting, because it is not always easy. It's sort of an oopsie. So it is experiment. You try using certain spell with different effects, and Ghosty turns to Oopsie, and then you have this, as he points to the, it used to be a ghost, exorcism gone wrong, or so you say, oops, and now I have these two little orbs that follow me everywhere. I can turn them into different things as well, as he holds up his hand as one of them turns into a bright gemstone. And then the other one turns into like a purple dagger. And he flips his hand again and they reform back into their orbs.
Wow, very nice. I'm very impressed.
It is. They are cool. I like them. They are not practical to make. It is a big oops. And, usually not pleasant for anyone involved when it happens.
Who were they?
Who are they?
You said they were ghosts.
Yes, long dead, I assure you. I did not know who they were originally. It is, well, my enthusiastic walk took me through graveyard that night. And, they accosted me. So, they work for me now.
That's fair. That's fair. Mm-hmm.
Hey, I do what I must. Sometimes I like very enthusiastic walks, and sometimes they are brisk. Tonight's been good night. Please rest. These will keep watch for us for the night.
Hey, Ken, can I do a religion check when he talks about exorcism and that kind of stuff to see if, like, an exorcism or whatever, like a religious, like, I guess, ceremony or something, trying to, exorcise spirits or whatever, could actually create these?
Yeah.
Uh, 10.
You're not really familiar with these spirit orbs. You've heard of exorcisms, you know the basics of them, but you've never heard of this type of creature or item.
Okay.
So, the Gingwatim will keep an eye on us for the night. You will sleep, my friends. I will sleep as well.
Thrak is going to take the first watch. He really doesn't trust Chi-Chi.
It's like I'm running a horror campaign. You guys don't trust any of my NPCs.
Verne is just too lost in thought to add anything to the conversation.
Vita's very tense about this and will take us the second watch.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sleep. I feel fine.
Okay. Thrak and Vita, give me a perception check.
$22.
Okay. And Vita?
18.
18. So, Vita, what race are you again? Are you half elf or full elf?
Half elf.
Okay. So you guys each take your 2-hour watch as the night passes. And, nothing goes on. You see, Chi-Chi's sort of slumped up against a tree. Not quite laying, but like sitting, arms up behind his head, just sort of almost preternaturally still during your watches. His orbs just sort of circling up above the campsite for the night.
Can I try for a medicine check to see if he's breathing?
Yeah, go for it.
$11.
So as you do that, you lean up forward to him to try seeing if he's breathing. You are going to, you see his eyes sort of flicker open as you lean forward.
Hello.
As he...
Did you want to sit up with me?
It's like, I can, yes, I can. Chi-Chi can take a turn for watch. You must be getting tired, no?
No, I'm pretty good. I don't need as much rest, if I have to.
That is fair. That is fair. So, what brings you to this place? I know most people who come here are lost wanderers, struggling to find their way. What are you?
Isn't that what everyone here is doing?
Some people here are thralls to the way the world works. They agree that this is the way the world should be, and are okay with living under someone else's thumb. Then you have the lost. It is what I call the adventurers like you. Tumbling between towns, trying to do good in a world that is no good.
Well, I don't think everyone's really decided yet. I mean, most of us are very new here.
And that is fair. Please excuse me for one moment. I need to go use the little boy's tree. As he turns around and starts to walk off into the woods a little bit.
All right, I am going to. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Since I'm alone and the only one up, I'm gonna cast Sword Burst and just step slightly away. It's about 5-foot range around me.
Okay. So he goes off into the woods, and about 10 minutes pass, and Chi-Chi doesn't return.
Alrighty, the next thing I do is lightly, well, probably a little more than lightly, kick Thrak.
Okay, you kick.
I swear
He's
I didn't
gone.
set it on fire.
He's gone. Shush.
So,
Who cares about a fire right now?
so with that, neither of you hear what the other person says. Thrak, you just look up as you see Vita kick you awake, but as you grumble your words as you wake up, you just see your mouth move, and you don't, or you feel your mouth move, and don't actually hear anything. Vita, same for you.
Vita will bite her lip, which most people know probably by now it's tension, and kind of gesture at the missing person.
As that will be initiative as the orbs swoop down. Thrak and Vita, you are the only two awake right now. The rest of the group is sleeping, and the campsite is full of a silence spell. So all of you who are sleeping will have disadvantage on initiative. Thrak and Vita, you have normal advantage or normal initiative rolls. So Thrak, what is your initiative?
3. Oh, God.
Agni,
16.
Verne,
9.
Vita,
20.
and Telwyn.
Nice.
5.
All right. Vita, you are the first to respond as you see these two orbs sort of swooping down towards you, silently coming through. You see multicolored sparks sort of gelatinizing out of the ectoplasm that these things are.
Okay. Alright, so I am going to step a little ways away from Thrak and cast, Armor of Agathis.
Is that a verbal component for that?
Oof, hold on. Yeah.
How far are you walking away?
I'm gonna go first. Nah, it's not gonna work. It's not very far that I would have gone. It's just I need to put a little distance in order to stop him from getting hit. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
All right then. Well, I will draw the glaive and attempt to take a whack at an orb.
Okay.
That's a 23 to hit.
The 23 will hit the orb. The Gingwatism. Or Ginwatsum.
4 damage.
4 damage. All right. Anything else?
I don't think I'm close to anyone that I can kick or try to boot somebody awake.
Not without leaving opportunity attacks.
Yeah, let's not.
All right. Next up, the purple orb is going to come down, and it is going to the one that you just struck, Vita, and is going to blast out a gelatinous bubble at you. That'll be an 18 to hit.
Hits.
All right. You will take 21 points of necrotic damage.
And I'm down.
Okay. You also, because you fall down there, will take 1 level of exhaustion.
Oof.
The next one will go to Thrak while he is laying on the ground. Getting advantage on him. That'll be a 21 to hit you, Thrak.
Yeah. Yep, that'll do it.
2, 4. You will take 16 points of necrotic damage. Thrak. And a con save.
Let me re-roll that. That's a little cocked. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
21.
21. You're good. You just take the damage.
Okay.
Agni, your turn comes and goes as you are still sleeping, as no one has woken you up yet.
Okay.
Next up,
Uh,
Thrak. Not yet, no. Let's see here. You are going to see Chi-Chi come up, walking through the brush, silent as the grave. He's gonna bend. He's gonna bend down, right to Vita's neck, and you see a feral smile upon his face, as you see long canines, fangs coming from his mouth, as he clamps down upon her neck.
Oh, shit. It's not my turn, right?
Not yet, no. Vita, that will hit you. As you will take 1 failed death, or no, this will be 2 failed death saves because it's a melee attack. And roll me a Constitution saving throw.
that's a 9.
Alright, your HP maximum will be reduced by 9. Next up, Verne, you are still sleeping soundly. Telwyn, you are also sleeping soundly. Thrak, you are awake and you just seen him smile at you while taking a bite out of your friend. You also have a green orb sort of trying to zap you while you are on the ground. And your friends are all sleeping in the silence.
Okay, how close are... Who's still sleeping?
Everyone except for Vita, who is now unconscious.
Okay,
Every,
I'm not even sure how close, or who's the closest to me as far as
roll me
companions.
a d4. Technically, it would be Vita as she was standing over you.
I got a 1.
Okay. It would be Telwyn. Is the closest, and he's about 5 feet away, where you could like smack him with your arm or your foot as you got up.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I was just trying to figure out some way of doing it.
All right, Telwyn, you get smacked awake. As Thrak, what are you doing for your turn?
Is that considered an action?
I'll say that's a free action.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'll stand up, and there's the green orb, correct?
The green orb is right there, yes.
How far is Chi-Chi?
Chi-Chi is about 10 feet.
Damn.
And he hasn't not broken eye contact with you as well while he did all of this.
I don't have a whole lot of options here. I'm gonna swing at the green orb thing because they'll get a attack of opportunity if I try and go towards him. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll swing at the green orb with my maul. 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay. Oh, also, I have Divine Fury.
Perfect.
So, let's see if I'm reading this correctly. Oh, I need Rage. Damn.
You can rage before.
All right. All right. Thank you.
Yep, you're still learning your character. You guys are only level 3, so I'm pretty tolerant of that early level.
Thank you.
Yep.
So I'll rage and I attack. So, right. So the Divine Fury is the first creature you hit on each of your turns with weapon attacks 1d6 rating damage. Let me roll the regular damage first.
Okay.
+5 is 18 bludgeoning damage.
Wow, that's a heavy hit.
Four radiant damage for the Divine Fury. So 20 points altogether?
Absolutely. You hit it hard as it bounces off the ground and bounces back up to where it's at. It's still formed, but it is quivering.
Okay, there's nothing else I can do.
All right. Vita, death saving throw.
That would be a 2.
All right, Vita. I'm going to take you over to the other chat real quick. So, Vita.
The doornail. All dead.
As the last vestiges of life leave your body, you feel your body growing cold. Something with your soul lingers for just a second as you hear a booming, melodious voice all around you. I see that death has come for you, Vita. This is not always the end here in this place. Sometimes death is only the beginning here. What I can offer you is I can offer you the chance to strike back at your foes, to get revenge on those who have laid you low. This is a one-time offer, and you don't have long to make it. You'll come back, fit as a fiddle, like you just woke up from a long, invigorating rest. Do you accept my gift that I so offer?
Can I ask what the cost is?
Oh, just a little, There might be a quirk or two that might occur. But other than that, that is all I can say.
Fine.
All right. As mist swirls around your spiritual form, as you go back into your body, you'll gain the effects of a long rest. However, you gain a dark gift for this. I'm messaging it to you now. For you, the smell of humanoid blood starts to appeal to you. You acquire a craving for drinking for it. You're cursed to feel the urge to drink at least a pint of fresh humanoid blood each day. Resisting this urge is a charisma saving throw, DC 15, made once a day. Failure to satisfy this craving, if the saving throw fails, causes you to suffer 1 level of exhaustion until blood is consumed. As it's not quite vampirism.
Got it.
So you will start back at full health and all of your spell slots and everything.
Got it.
Meet you back.
Oh, they're back.
All right.
Deep shit now.
Everything's fine. What are you talking about?
So, as you see the spark of Vita's life fade from her eyes, their thrack, Telwyn, you start getting up as you see her bleeding out, blood pouring out all across the ground. You see mist rise up from the ground and encase Vita. You see the blood disappear and become reabsorbed back into her. As she lets out a gasp. Bloodless wound. No more. A bit
Is he still standing over her?
He's still standing over her. However, Vita, you can act on your turn now.
Alright, hang on.
That happened at the
Beyond is
start.
being frustrating.
You're fine.
Yeah, it's definitely giving me a hard time with the death.
If you just... if this is happening out of character in the same way that it happened to Verne, if you just do long rest, it should fix it.
Yeah, unfortunately the browser is not letting me up there right now, so hang on.
Don't try to use the scroll wheel. It doesn't work when you're in that mode, because it's scrolling as if you're using the damage calculator to do damage and health.
Yeah.
It's very dumb.
Nope.
Like, that's happened to me
I
constantly,
agree.
and I've had to remind myself, no, just pull the drag.
Yep. So just refresh your page. You're back up to full.
Yeah, I just fixed it.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool, perfect. So.
Alright, well, I am angry as fuck, so Eldritch Blast.
Okay. Does that require verbal?
Hold on.
Because the silence is still
Yeah,
around.
it does. Alright. Well then, if I can take a disengage and get the hell out of there, I will.
You absolutely can.
And possibly try to kick someone awake.
Alright, you can cross over Agni or Verne on the way. Who do you kick awake as you book out of it?
Verne.
Alright, so you come over, you just kick Verne right in the neck as you, you like keep going.
I
Verne,
feel like it's not even on purpose. It's just in their hurry to get away. They accidentally kick me.
Yep, as you wake up to a soundless world. But chaos all around.
Even the whispers? Or...
You hear those in your head, yes, but everything else is...
So almost nothing has changed for Verne.
Yes.
Honestly.
Anything else, Vita? Any bonus actions or anything you'd like to do?
No. Actually, I might be able to do that. Hang on.
The sound comes back to you as you get away from... out of the 20-foot circle.
Oh, nice. And I know I can't use an Eldritch Blast on that, can I?
Not yet, because you used the disengage action.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, then that... Sorry, I'm looking for the final thing.
Nope, you're totally fine.
Is Thrak okay?
How was Thrak looking?
He's doing all right. He took a hit, but he's still
Can
standing.
you take 21 points of damage?
I can, yes.
Alright. Then I'm done.
Okay. Next up is the purple orb. Seeing you dash away, Vita, this one is going to slam down into Agni's chest, who is still sleeping.
Well, not for long.
Yeah, as you wake up very abruptly to 19 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
You will take 21 points of necrotic damage.
Okay, well, I'm down.
And a con save. Actually, no, because that dropped you. You just gained 1 level of exhaustion. As you gasp wordlessly as you collapse back. The next one on Thrak is going to attempt to hit Thrak. That is going to get a 6 to hit you, Thrak, which will miss. Agni, death saving throw. 12. 1 success. The Chi-Chi's turn comes as he sees Verne awake now on the ground. Still hasn't gotten up yet, but sees him on the ground as he hisses at you wordlessly as you see a barbed scorpion tail come from behind him, out from underneath his robes. And it's going to shoot out at your chest there, Verne. It'll be a 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
You will take 13 points of piercing damage as he gets you right beneath your collarbone with this scorpion tail.
Well, that at least gives Verne an answer of, is he a vampire?
Verne, it is your turn.
Okay.
The world is still quiet.
You know what? Fuck it. Verne doesn't know what's happening. Verne is going to use Radiant Soul. I gain a glimmering, or I gain 2 incorporeal wings for a minute, and now have a flying speed of 30.
Okay. To answer your
So
question, Vita, yes, wings.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
So my eyes are glimmering, and I have 2 incorporeal wings, and I'll just use my 30-foot fly to fly straight up.
Okay. You do not take the disengage action, so another tail bite is going to come after you as you do this.
Yeah, Verne just doesn't know what's going on, so they're just trying to GTFO.
Yep, as the tail smashes into a nearby tree and misses you. Anything else there, Verne?
No, other than understanding a little more of what's going on now that I can hear the woods now that I'm out. Now
Yes.
I'm 30 feet away.
Telwyn, it is your turn. You awaken to a cold, quiet world and chaos.
I got woken up at the end of the last round to see that stuff going on, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Thrak woke you up on his turn.
Okay. How far is that thing from me? Whatever that guy was.
Chi-Chi is 10 feet away from you.
Okay. I guess I'll use my movement to move up and engage him.
Okay, you stand up and grab your sword and...
That whole Divine Smite, it doesn't say anything about having a verbal component.
Yep, you can do that even in an anti-magic zone.
Okay, I'm gonna attack with the Divine Smite.
Alright. This is not technically an undead on him, so you do not gain the bonus die.
Okay, no, that's fine. Because I don't know. I don't know exactly what this is, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Technically, it should be considered undead, but it's a dual type, and the one type overrides.
It just says deals radiant damage to the target.
Yep.
So, okay.
What'd you get to hit?
18.
18 will hit.
$21 damage.
21 damage. Let me roll a con save to see if... Alright, and as you strike him, with the cleave of your sword, sound returns to the forest, and the din of battle reappears. Anything else there, Telwyn?
No.
Alright, Thrak, it is your turn.
I've got the green orb sitting next to me, right?
Yes, sir.
Still quivering or quaking, whatever it's doing?
Yep.
Alright, I will strike it again.
Okay.
With my maul.
You Gallagher that.
19 plus... it's a 26 to hit.
Perfect, that'll hit.
12 bludgeoning and... 5 radiant. So 16
That
total.
is just enough as ectoplasm splatters the ground in which you guys were camped out at as that one dissipates. Anything else there, Thrak?
I look straight at Chi-Chi and I let out the most blood-curdling roar or shout you can imagine. And just... I've got eyes locked on him like, you're next, buddy.
All right. Vita, it is your turn.
I'm going for an Eldritch Blast, and I will be using my bonus action for something later.
Okay.
And that is going to be a 13.
13 to hit what? Chi-Chi
I
or
am
the
going
orb?
for Chi-Chi.
Okay. 13 will miss Chi-Chi.
Alrighty, and Vita will look towards Agni and use 2 of my healing pool in order to bring her to.
Okay.
10.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
All right, Agni, the orb is still sitting there on your chest. It feels that life has come back to you, so it is going to attempt to zap it out one more time. That'll be a 14 to hit you.
Miss.
All right, it does nothing. Agni, it is your turn.
Yeah, so, can I hear things?
You can. Everything is loud now.
I don't know what's going on, but this shit is not even cool. I was just sleeping, and then I was dead. So that's pretty fucked up.
I mean, you slept like the dead. What can we say?
Yeah, I did. Okay, so the orb that's on me is the purple one?
Yes, only the purple one remains.
Has it taken any damage?
A smidge.
I am going to cast Toll the Dead on it.
Okay.
I need a wisdom save, DC 13.
It gets a 17, unfortunately.
Okay. Can I? Oh, shoot. I was gonna try to stand up, but is it trying to hold me down or is it just like sitting on me?
It's a ball of ectoplasm. You could totally stand up.
Okay, yeah, I would like to not be lying on the floor anymore, please. Thank you.
Okay. It just sort of sticks with your chest as you sort of step up. Anything else?
No.
All right. Chi-Chi's then going to look at Thrak, who just roared at him, and he's going to just sort of tisk his finger a little bit. And he's going to, like, be a dear and kill your friends for me, Thrak. As I need a wisdom save from you, Thrak.
Oh, for Pete's sake. 4.
You are charmed by him
Uh,
and feel the compulsion to kill your friends. Every time that you make an attack upon your friend, anytime you have to do an attack on your friend, you get to make a saving throw, and at the end of your turn, you get to make a saving throw.
Okay.
So,
Hey, Ken, I got a question. Since I'm directly engaged with him, if he casts a spell in front of me, can I react to that?
not unless you have, I think what's Mage Slayer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mage Slayer, if Mage tries to cast a spell, you can use a reaction to
Yeah.
attack.
No, that's what I was curious of, because I knew there was something where you could do it, but I thought it was something specific, so.
And you, in right in front of him, Telwyn, you see his wounds start to stitch closed. Verne, it is your turn.
I am going to cast Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
Hold on, something screwed. There we go. D&D Beyond was being screwy for a second. Cast Hunter's Mark on Kiki. Chi-Chi, whatever his name is.
Yep.
Sorry, playing Genshin Impact, and there's a person named
Totally
Kiki.
fine.
And I'm just gonna shoot an arrow.
All right.
Hold on, I gotta see how a feature works. No, that's only on the first turn. All right. Seeing how the Dread ambusher works, because there's a part where it says if you take the attack action, but it's on the first turn.
Yep.
I can spend it. I can make a second attack, but that's a 24.
That'll hit.
All right. For 7 points of piercing damage.
All right. Anything else?
Nope, that's action and bonus action.
All right. Next up, Telwyn, your turn.
I see he's healing. I'm gonna use another attack with a smite.
Okay.
17 to hit.
17 will hit.
For 15 damage.
15. All right.
And then as a bonus action, is everybody within 30 feet of me?
Yes. Even Verne, who is 30 feet above.
Okay, I'm going to use my bonus action to use my Channel Divinity and turn the tide and give everybody 7 hit points.
Okay.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Anything else there, Telwyn?
Nope, I'm done. Bonus action. Action.
All right, Thrak, it is your turn.
Who's closest to me?
The orb. Actually, no, you killed the orb. It would be Chi-Chi. Oh, your friends. That would be Telwyn, because you woke him up on your way.
Yeah. Um, hmm. So, do I have to? Well, I'm charmed, so I would use the weapon I already have in my hand, correct?
Yes, sir.
I wouldn't be able to, like, drop it and do an unarmed strike.
Hey, Ken, does he have to make a concentration save if he's concentrating on that spell to charm?
He passed it.
Okay, that's what I was asking. Because
I only did 7 damage. It wasn't very extraordinary.
Oh, okay. I attacked him too. That's why I was curious.
Yeah, he passed both saves.
Okay.
But yes, Thrak, the directive was just kill your friends. And
Okay. Alrighty. Would I put the divine fury in there as well?
It's the first attack that hits per turn, so yes.
Okay. Alright. 12 to hit.
I got an armor class of 14.
Yep, so
All
that'll
right.
miss.
That's it.
So Telwyn, you just feel this looming presence behind you as Thrak swings at you. You sort of jump out of the way. Thrak, you get a wisdom saving throw at the end of your turn to try to see if you can break this charm.
Okay. 14.
The charm ends on you.
Yay!
Next up, Vita.
I am going to go for yeah. Let's do Eldritch Blast. And since I can't really hit the orb without hitting Agni, I will go for Chi-Chi again.
Okay.
$11.
That will unfortunately miss.
Yeah, my dice really love me right now. Anywho, let's go for, as a bonus action, Hex.
Okay, on Chi-Chi.
Yep.
And what ability score? Not ability score, but skill check.
Intelligence.
All right, sounds good. Anything else, Vita?
That's it.
All right. The Gingwatsum on Agni is going to roll horrifically low with a 6 to hit. And will miss. Agni, it is your turn once again.
Okay, so this thing is like, is it stuck on me? Can I try to remove it? What is
It's not stuck, it's just floating right a couple inches from your chest.
Okay, so it's just stalking me.
Yes.
Okay. Oh gosh. Okay, I'm gonna try Toll the Dead again on the orb.
Okay. Gets
So
an
it's still-
11. Yeah, 11 this time.
Okay, so it is a D12 since it's already taking damage. That is 10 necrotic damage.
10 necrotic, you start to see it quiver a little bit.
And then bonus action, I would like to cast Spiritual Weapon, please.
Okay.
How far away is Chi-Chi from me? Is he...
He's pretty close. He's about 20 feet.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I want to cast a spiritual weapon, like, right near him, like 5 feet from him, so that it can make its attack.
Sounds good to me.
I've never used it. It does get an attack the
Yes.
first time that I cast it, right? Okay. Oh, it's only a 10 to hit.
That'll unfortunately miss.
Okay. That's my turn.
All right. At the start of Chi-Chi's turn, his wounds are gonna stitch up a little bit with a smile. He's like, "Ah, you broke my spell. That was not very nice. Well, what can you do?" As he's going to shoot his barbed tail out at Telwyn's chest. That'll be a 25 to hit.
Yeah, I'll hit.
For 14 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Verne, it is your turn.
Okay. Let's take another shot at Chi-Chi.
All right.
Oh, the math is hard. 15?
15 will miss.
Well, fuck him then. I have nothing else.
All right, Telwyn, it is your turn.
I'm gonna use my last smite because this whole him stitching up and deciding that he was gonna make lunch of Vita in front of me, I'm not really fond of.
I can imagine.
19 to hit.
19 will hit.
Uh, 24 damage.
That is enough. You cleave him in twain as both parts of him fall to the ground.
I'm gonna look over at it and I'd be like more than happy to take his head, and I'm just gonna like I feel remorse for watching what happened to her, so she can see that like it really bothered me to wake up and see all this.
I mean, as it should.
Well, it felt like I woke up in the middle of a nightmare.
Yeah. Anything else, or Telwyn?
I'm gonna pull some holy water out and wipe my blade clean, and then sprinkle some of it on his corpse and like say something.
All right. Thrak, it is your turn.
Is the other orb still
It
up, or
is.
did it?
It is really close to Agni's chest.
How far am I from her?
You are about 20 feet.
All right, I'll use my movement to go over and I'll attack it.
Okay.
Seven, 13 to hit.
You said 17 to hit?
13.
A 13? 13 will miss.
That's all I can do right now.
All right. Back up to the top of the round. Vita, it is your turn.
I'm going to try the short sword for the orb, just because it's a finesse weapon.
Okay.
I can get in close. $17 to hit.
17. That'll hit.
5 damage.
5 damage. All right. Anything else? Are you going to bounce your hex to that?
Yeah.
Cool. Keeping the intelligence.
I guess dexterity.
Okay. Sounds good. Anything else?
I don't think there's anything else I can do. Is anyone? Can I still use a bonus action?
That is to bounce
I
the
think
hex.
Hex took it. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. That's it.
All right. Sounds good. It is its turn. It's going to turn around, seeing you slash at it, and being very ineffectual against Agni since she got back up. And that's going to be a 14 to hit you, Vita.
Matches. So yeah.
All right. 12, 14, 16 necrotic damage, and a con save. By the way, your health maximum came back up to normal when you were brought back.
Yeah.
So I need a con save.
And that's an 8.
All right, you'll gain 1 level of exhaustion. Agni, it is your turn. Now you see this orb sticking to Vita's chest instead of yours, and zapping her with the ectoplasmic goo.
Yeah, that's not cool. Sacred Flame.
Okay.
Dex throw.
Gets an 13.
13 is the DC. So if it matches, it misses, right?
Yep, matches miss.
Bonus action, I'm going to move the spiritual weapon. It can move 20 feet,
Yep.
and the guy was only 20 feet, so hopefully that's still in range, correct?
Yep.
Of the orb? Okay. And it will attack the orb as well. That is a 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
4 damage. I believe it's radiant damage, but I need to make sure.
It's
it is
force.
force damage.
Oh, force?
Yep.
Interesting.
It's a very weird spell.
Anything else there, Agni?
No, that is it.
All right, Verne.
Fearing shooting an arrow at it, I will fly down, pulling out my scimitar. Just the one scimitar, because I don't really feel like a normal short sword will do much against this weird ball of light. And I will take a swipe at it. 16?
16 will hit.
Wonderful. Oh, does Hunter's Mark... I can bounce that, right? Yeah, I forgot that.
Yep.
I can do that.
Bonus action.
So, bonus action, I'll move Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
Oh, 16 points of slashing damage.
16 points. That is just enough to end this Gingwatsum, as it sort of splatters across both sorry about that. It splatters across your 2 female companions there.
Via is exhausted, but is moving in the direction of Chi-Chi's body right this second.
Okay. You get very to Chi-Chi right then and there.
Seething to the point that you can hear her sucking in breath through her teeth. She is more than angry, and if no one stops her, will kick his head.
Hey, when she goes to do that, how's she looking health-wise? Because I'm standing next to the body and the head.
How does Vita look like at that moment?
Vita, HP wise is at 12 and is probably quite pale and has bite marks on her neck.
I'll reach out when she goes to do this, and I'll lay hands on her for 10 points.
Okay.
As he does, she flinches, really not in the mood to be touched by anybody right this second.
I'll gather that reaction was she was about lunch earlier.
I got bit. I was dead. I just promised something. I agreed to come back. I was fully dead. I'm not in a good mood right now. And she'll just sit where she is.
Verne gives you a look of, I completely understand. I will leave you alone for the time being.
She will say in Celestial, Leah, your feathery ass is in trouble. I hope to God you come through.
Verne is absolutely taking note of that.
I'll smile at that as I hear the words, and I'll look at her and I'll leave you be, and I will pray for you, and I will walk back over, and I'll assess how everybody else looks, health wise.
Verne looks alright.
Drax okay.
Yeah, I'm okay as well.
I have a level of exhaustion, so there's that.
But
Yeah,
we're not done with our long rest yet.
Yeah.
We're still resting.
And how about we have a watch, regardless of whoever decides that they're going to wander into our camp. And if they try, I suggest we perhaps shoot them.
Not the worst plan.
Are we at attack first and ask questions later scenario? Because after that, waking up.
Right now, I am.
Yeah, right now that's a completely fair
I was asleep,
assessment.
but then got just about murdered. So yeah. Agni just wants to go and sit next. Well, not super close, but 5 feet maybe.
Yeah.
From
Maybe at a glaive range.
out of glaive range from Vita, and then just use my light cantrip to put on a little show of her murdering Chi-Chi over and over again.
Give me a performance check.
I will use my light cantrip to assist in this.
I'm gonna say a definite performance check, as they are the light cantrip.
I'm gonna give her guidance when she goes to do this, because we definitely need some sort of show to brighten her spirits.
Yep, I'll give you the performance check, because this isn't something the light cantrip should be able to do, but with your domain, I will say it is possible.
Okay. I then added D4. 15.
It's essentially... It ends up being like light stick figures.
That's fine.
Looks like a bunch of glow sticks just sort of in the sky, just bashing the one's head in repeatedly.
The spirit of it touches Vita to the point where she starts laughing just a little bit and cries just a little bit, but after a moment she sucks it up and she starts to feel better.
Yay.
Okay.
Okay, so Chi-Chi's body. Is there anything we need to do to make sure he doesn't come back? I mean, I'm not even. I know what we should probably do, but I don't know if Thrak would or not.
And how much of the death of vampiric type creatures would Verne know of?
Probably not that much, as you've never actively hunted one yourself.
Fair enough.
Can we do a religion check on this to see
Yeah.
what we do? Okay.
Set it on fire just to be safe.
You could.
I
yeah.
kind of
You
just
can-
want to
you
take
can
the head and
always-
burn it.
Yeah, well, you know what? We can just light the whole thing on fire after we cut off the head. I'm fine with that.
Loot it just to make sure that, like, they're...
Also, Verne is, to themselves, going to say a prayer to the Raven Queen to make sure that this vile creature finds the darkest pit that it is sent to.
I'm going to give whoever's doing the religion check guidance.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is anyone gonna do the religion check?
Okay.
I mean, I'll do it, sure. I'll do the religion check after I do my prayer.
Yeah, whoever's doing it. I'm like mortified.
22.
Nice.
You remember reading in a book somewhere that a wooden stake through the heart usually does it.
Alright. I will pick up like a thick stick, sharpen it to a point, and just impale the chest of the body.
I have a hammer.
I mean, if you want to hammer it in further, I'm not going to stop you.
I'm going to look at you guys when you go to do that. I'm like, here, and I'm going to, like, drizzle holy water over it, because, like, you know how you're stupid. And I'm going to be like, yeah, do it. And then I'm going to replug it and and wipe my blade clean again and be like, ah.
Yeah, I'm also just gonna spend a bit of time hammering.
Alright. We can also set it on fire if we so please.
As Vida turns the chest cavity of this creature into a rage room.
It's good.
Verne is going to give a look of... I'm not the most okay with desecrating the body entirely, but I'm gonna go with it considering the mind state of Vida at the moment.
I'm alright.
Eventually just concerned for the friend and giving a look of, we should probably let the body rest or burn it at this point.
No, you should burn it. I'm fine with you burning it. I am going to say a prayer and have a conversation. Possibly a one-sided conversation.
Okay.
Can we search it before we burn it? See if there's anything?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I figured we would search the body before the impaling and everything.
Yeah, you find a amulet.
Interesting.
What is this one called again? You find a +1 amulet of the devout that bears the symbol of some unknown god. To the point where the imagery of the god is almost worn away to nothing, and almost, at this point, for all intents and purposes, unrecognizable.
With some time, whoever takes it, if they give me the image of their deity, can I use my jeweler's kit to like rework the surface of it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, technically Verne wants to keep it, but I can't use it right now.
Yeah, but you do have 2 people in the party at minimum that can use it right now.
Yeah, I know. I will give it to Telwyn and Agni and say to them, one of you can probably use this. Go for it.
I'm gonna look at Agni and I'm like, continue to be the light and lead us forward. And I'm gonna hand it to her when he looks at me.
Oh my God, are you giving me jewelry? I just put it on. I don't even know what it does, actually.
So
It requires attunement.
Yep, so it requires attunement, and it'll increase your attack rolls and saving throws by 1
For
for all of
spells.
your cleric spells.
Ooh.
It's basically a Rod of the Pact Keeper for clerics and paladins.
It's better than that because those only increase the DC or
Oh, that's right.
the spell attack. This one does both, which is super nice. But this is the +1 variant, the uncommon variant, Amulet of the Devout.
Okay.
So it makes your saving throws that much harder for me to pass.
Yay.
After all this happens and we burn the body, finishing the rest.
There is no other bodies, it's just ectoplasm.
No, I meant after burning his body.
Oh, finishing the long rest. Okay. You said
Yeah,
finishing the
finishing-
rest. I'm like, wait a minute.
No, finishing the long rest because we didn't finish our long rest.
Yep. So you guys are able to take a couple more watches and get your long rest.
Well,
Yes, there.
Drac will take the watch again.
Okay.
I'll take one at the end since I got to sleep some before I got woke up.
Yeah, Vita and I both have a level of exhaustion, so we should be able to just sleep through. But can I attune while I'm
Yeah.
resting,
Yep.
even though I have the exhaustion I need to?
Well, so attunement only takes an hour, and a long rest is 8 hours, 6 of which being sleeping, and 2 of which can be light activity.
Which is even
Okay.
less for Agni because she's an elf.
Yeah, so you have more than enough time to attune to it and get your long rest.
Okay, great.
So,
Yeah, technically, Agni, you only need the 4 hours of sleep in order to get benefiting from long rests.
yep. So the night ends as you guys wake up to the cold blue sun in the sky where it always is again. The forest is dense and thick here as you hear the sounds of cold tundra forest. A pristine quiet that almost, as eerily as it is terrifying. That deep settling horror of this alien landscape. And this is where we are going to end for the night.
So I just remembered for a good, like, almost a minute after that combat, Verne still has
The wings.
which I'm surprised no one has asked about yet.
So, everyone watching at home, I have a couple viewers that have been very consistent with watching. Thank you so much for watching at home. It's been a blast having you guys all here. Thank you guys for playing tonight. Wonderful as always.
Thank you.
And everyone watching at home,